Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. I know, I'm at my mom's house right now, but that's not really the point of this video, but, I move around a lot. I don't always spend time at my place, of course. Whatever. But anyways, this time I'm going to be reviewing Oppenheimer. Now, Oppenheimer takes place during the events of World War II, and we follow J. Robert Oppenheimer as he is in charge with creating a project of the world's very first atomic bomb. And from there, he hires a bunch of different people to help work on the project. And once the atomic bomb has been created, it changes the course of history forever. Now, this film is directed by the one and only Christopher Nolan, and it stars so many people. Cillian Murphy plays the lead role as J. Robert Oppenheimer, but it also has a massive cast of A-list stars as well, including Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Casey Affleck, and also some slightly big actors that are actually in some of the background. So yeah, it has a massive cast of characters, though a lot of the time when it does come to some of its big stars, they're actually not in the movie as much as Cillian Murphy, because given the fact that he is Oppenheimer, it focuses a lot more on Oppenheimer than almost any other character in the movie. But yeah, this is a biographical story, and it's one that is very lengthy and very heavy on dialogue. It's 3 hours long, and it's R-rated, and Christopher Nolan hasn't done an R-rated film in like more than a decade. Now look, despite the fact that this is R-rated, do not expect a massive amount of violence or anything like that, because this is not an action film, it's not a sci-fi film, it's nothing like that. So yeah, just don't expect a massive amount of pure action, because this is more of a heavy drama film, and there's heavy amounts of dialogue in certain parts. In fact, throughout the entire movie, it focuses a lot on heavy dialogue, and for some people it might be boring. As for me, I found it to be very compelling. In fact, this whole thing can be summarized in one word, and with that word, I will mention at the end of the video, actually. But what can I say? Like, I don't even know where to start. I mean, it would be an absolutely cliched thing to talk about how good the actors are in the movie, because they are. Cillian Murphy is phenomenal. He deserves an Oscar. Like, he should immediately be given one, because wow, he is very powerful. He never feels like he is going out of character. No one does, in fact. And there are often times in the movie where it just becomes very realistic. This is one of the most realistic looking films I have ever seen. And Nolan has stated that not a single use of CGI was used in this movie, and there are uses of effects in the film. After watching the movie, it's actually kind of hard to believe, but if that's the case, then I certainly believe it, because this is a gorgeous looking film, filmed on 70 millimeter print. It's certainly made for IMAX. You can definitely tell how hard the people worked and shot this film. Another actor I have to praise for his role is Robert Downey Jr. He is excellent as a supporting role, and I am so happy that he is doing stuff after Iron Man. Good stuff, actually, because I was kind of afraid that Doolittle could have killed his career, as he was honestly terrible in that film. But seeing him actually do powerful roles again, this actually might be my favorite role of his in years. I love Iron Man, but that was more of an entertaining, like fun, acting role. But this is a far more serious role for everyone, and everyone's phenomenal. And even side characters that are played by big actors like Emily Blunt, who is one of the greatest actresses working in Hollywood today, who doesn't have a lot of screen time in the movie, despite the fact that she's a very big name actress, tends to get, some side time every once in a while. I mean, Florence Pugh is also in the movie as well, and Christopher Nolan didn't just, bring all these big name actors together just to, shove them in your face like, look how great these actors are. They're terrific. You like these actors, right? Look at them act. But they do have a purpose, and I feel like the way Nolan handles this, this entire thing, it's honestly really this honestly looks like a film that would be very hard to make. Like, A person would need to be like very good at writing, and the writing is spot on, and there would need to be a lot of brains behind this entire thing as well, because this does not look like a movie that something like me would make, because yeah, it looks way too professional. And yes, despite its 3 hour runtime and despite its heavy amounts of dialogue, the movie actually does manage to fly by pretty quick, because it's honestly a fast moving film, because it goes from scene to scene to scene, and each scene lasts about like 2 to 3 minutes. Like, there never seems to be a part that just lasts like 10 minutes long. It just cuts to the point from point A to point B, and it's absolutely outstanding. And it never really felt like it was too overly long. And I do complain a lot about runtimes in movies, but movies like this truly earn their runtime if the director knows exactly what they're doing. Yeah, he definitely knew what he was doing. Films like this are the reason theaters exist. And we're living in a society where movies have just been bombing during the summer events. Yeah, I mean, come on. Elemental, bomb. Indiana Jones, bomb. Flash, bomb. This might change things. Same with Barbie, because, with the whole Barbie Oppenheimer thing. But, yeah, I saw this in IMAX, and I do get comments once in a while, like how full my theater was during my experience. If you really want to know how full the theater was at my experience on the very, very first IMAX showing I went to, the very first one, you want to know how many people there were? Like 96%. I'm not even joking. It was probably the most people in an IMAX showing I've been to. Like, even more than Across the Spider-Verse and almost any other Marvel film. Like, wow, it was full. I almost wasn't able to get a ticket for the movie, but seeing as people are actually going to support the film, I was honestly kind of happy that I almost didn't get a ticket. I was actually kind of happy that it almost sold out. But then again, I really wanted to see the first showing because it was going to be a long movie and I didn't want to see a later showtime. But bottom line is, the experience was phenomenal. And just watching that film with the massive amounts of sound effects, the sound mixing too, combined together with its excellent performances and heavy dialogue, just shaking the theater like almost like if there was an earthquake. It was one of the greatest experiences I've had in the theater this year. Films like this are the reason why cinema exists. Films like this are the reason you need to go out to a movie theater. Like, do not wait for streaming. Do not wait till you can download it or something. No, you need to go out, leave your house, and see this in a theater and support it. Christopher Nolan has stated that he never plans to make a film that's exclusively for streaming, because he makes movies specifically for theaters. Interstellar, Dunkirk, Dark Knight Trilogy, Inception, all those movies were made to be seen in the theater. First viewing experience for a Christopher Nolan film needs to be in the theater, because this is just, I know I say this a lot, but it really needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible. And I don't even know what there is more to say, because this just blew me away from beginning to end. The opening scene alone to all the way up to the very end. Oppenheimer is an experience unlike any other for any Christopher Nolan film, and if I were to be honest, it's honestly his best film in years. I liked it more than Tenet, I liked it more than Dunkirk, I liked it more than Interstellar. All those films I thought were great, but Christopher Nolan, throughout the years, I honestly worry that there might be a time where his career just completely goes downhill. But with Oppenheimer, he proves that that is more than likely not going to happen anytime soon. Oppenheimer is an experience that I will never forget. It's a very heavy biopic filled with terrific performances, a fast-moving pace that never seems to drag on. It might not be heavy on violence or massive amounts of blood. Like, there's not a single drop of blood in the movie. And sure, it's taking place during the events of World War II, but there's not a single depiction of war, or there's no uses of guns. But hey, as long as the movie has outstanding performances and feels absolutely realistic, then that's all that truly matters to this film. And the way Nolan handles it is absolutely beautiful. It's definitely worthy of Oscars. Like, it's definitely going to get a lot of Oscar buzz, and I hope it wins a lot because it deserves like almost every single category. It's one of the best films of the year, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. Go out and see this film. Go out and see this on the largest screen possible. It is worth every penny of your purchase for a ticket. Whether if it's an IMAX ticket, though, it's best experienced in IMAX. I definitely do see myself rewatching it in terms of, like history films and stuff like that. Nolan, you have certainly done it again, and if I were to describe this movie in one word, it would be cinema. Cinema is dead, like most people say. Guys, last year we had Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie proved that the genre is still alive. And with this film, Christopher Nolan proves that it's also still alive. So, yeah. And yes, I am going to be seeing Barbie this Saturday. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I know, I actually am kind of looking forward to it. So, yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.